Welcome to our penultimate episode of the series. This is the final interview that we will be doing, this series anyway, and it is a very special one because it's with someone who I've known for a very long time. It's with my good friend Preet, who I went to school with, and we talk about what it was like being at an all-girls school for them as a genderqueer person, how empowering it can be to perform and do theatre, and attitudes to trans and queer identities in India throughout history. So we go through a lot of topics. It's all really interesting stuff. I hope you enjoy the episode. Hello and welcome to Euphoric, the podcast discussing gender euphoria and what it means to different people. Today we have Preet to talk about their experience. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Wait, you are. What am I talking about? I was going to say you are our honoured guest.
I am the honoured guest.
You are the honoured guest.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep that in. I like to start off every episode by asking the guest what gender euphoria is. So would you like to give a bit of a definition?
Yeah, of course. I could say no, but there wouldn't be any point in this interview. So gender euphoria, it has a element of singularity to it. I feel like people experience gender euphoria in different ways. Especially like if you're not part of sort of the gender binary and you're outside of that. I think the best way to describe it for me would be like owning your body, feeling like yourself and recognizing yourself. I think the recognizing yourself part is very important for me, at least.
Absolutely, I love that. So do you remember the first time you experienced gender euphoria?
I think I must have experienced it before then, before this event. But this is the one that really sticks out to me, and it was when I was playing Odysseus in the school's classics play. And there was a sort of acknowledgement that you weren't part of this binary. It was a sort of opt out because before people treated me as like a sort of cis woman, which I am not, but I hadn't come out at that point. And Odysseus is a cis male, and there was this sort of like overlapping that allowed you to sort of exit. And I got a lot of gender euphoria from that, from people sort of understanding that I was outside for a moment at the very least.
That's great. Do you what do you think it was about the character that made you feel like this?
I mean, he was a very hyper masculine character. Anyone who knows Greek heroes, they are like um the epitome of masculine. You'll see statues of them just rippling with muscle. Like in art, they've got these massive heroic thighs, and they're supposed to be the complete opposite of what was understood as feminine. And as someone who didn't own their own body or didn't own like the right to their own expression at the time, um allowing yourself to sort of toe the line between masculinity and femininity was exhilarating.
Hmm. And what was that like performing that in front of so many people?
I think they all understood. There was an understanding between me and the audience. Um when yeah, I think that was very reaffirming for me, even if it again was only temporary. I think I maybe took Odysseus with me after the play. I'd say Odysseus is a good friend of mine who sort of opened the door to being myself, giving me permission to not be like who people, yeah, no, permission to be yourself, because you you have to play someone else, but you can't sort of extract yourself from a context. That's almost impossible. But allowing yourself to sort of enter this new context, I think there's a sort of rawness to acting where whoever you are essentially is there, and
Yeah.
you discard everything else.
Yeah, and people do say, don't they, that gender is a performance, and I think that takes it in a very literal sense.
Oh, most definitely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great. So we went to school together. Um,
We
we went
did.
to an all-girls school. Have you found at university it's been a lot more freeing, like you've been more free to be yourself?
Of course, of course. I think our school put on like the guise of being supportive. They put up some some posters saying some people are gay, get over it, like maybe 3 posters. This was a large school with one, two, many buildings, various buildings. It was a large sort of spread, and they had 3 posters in there, and they were like, "Yeah, we're supportive." They didn't talk about being gay. No one acknowledged it. I think the teachers probably knew if you were like queer, of any flavor of queer, they would have known. They just wouldn't have acknowledged it, I don't think. And I know that current students at that school, they'll say my pronouns are these ones, this is my name, and the teachers will repeatedly dead name them. I wouldn't say that was a supportive environment, whereas sort of stepping into what my university is, I didn't know when I was coming into university how supportive it was. Our university in particular is very good for like supporting trans and non-binary students. I didn't know about it. I may have chosen the university because it had a campus cat. That's still, fair enough. I
It's
feel like
valid.
it's a valid reason to choose a university. Um, but I came into the university, and I heard like other trans and non-binary students saying, "Oh yes, I carefully sort of curated my selection, and this was amongst the top because they're the best for supporting people in the trans community." And I feel very lucky to have accidentally stumbled onto this. I'm quite enjoying this supportive bubble because I know the rest of the world is not so nice. I'll put it
Mm,
that way. Very big understatement. Not so nice.
yeah. Have you managed to find any like communities at the university?
Oh yeah, the LGBTQ plus community or society. They have society events, and they are very good. If you know of the University of Essex, they had this whole Rhindorf report issue where the university invited a transphobic speaker and then cancelled the speaker, and the university apologized to the speaker, and people in the trans community at the University of Essex worked really hard to make sure that like trans and non-binary students were protected. They now have protection at the University of Essex in the university code. And there's now a space for them. So any sort of discrimination or prejudice is no longer justified.
It's really good, that.
We Yeah, it's really good. They worked really hard. I'm not going to name them, but I want to know that I am very thankful of those people and very much in awe of them.
So some people would maybe think that being trans or non-binary is a very new thing. Maybe they'll think it's a trend. What would you say to the people who think that kind of thing?
To that, I'd say probably haven't studied history, um, or perhaps a very Eurocentric or limited history. The UK isn't very good at studying history from anywhere that isn't to do with the UK, and for some reason they have an obsession with trench foot. I don't know what was going on there.
So true.
That is so true. 3 weeks on trench foot. Why do I need to know? But, if you I'm sure there are examples from, like, European history. I'm just not very well versed on it, unfortunately, as of yet. But, if you look at pre-colonial India, they had masses of support for the trans community. They have trans gods as well. And there was this understanding that there is no gender binary. There were people outside of the gender binary, and they were gods, deities. So there is a lot of support for them. And you'll see Indians, like contemporary Indians, saying, "Oh my God, you're abomination, you're not natural, this is a new sort of fad." And I'm sitting here thinking, please open a history book. There is a sort of expectation that other people can dictate what is right for you, what your body is supposed to be, who you are. um I think there's a lot of just general ignorance. Things are the way they are now. That isn't how they've always been. And in order to make change, you have to l- like analyze, is this right? Is this what we're doing is right? There is no trans agenda. There is no gay agenda. It's just a bunch of people who are trying to live their lives and be happy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely important that people are educated on this kind of thing, right?
For sure. For sure.
For sure. Well, thank you very much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for
It's been great having you.
yeah.
This has been Euphoric. Thank you very much for listening. This is the final episode of Series 1, the final proper episode anyway. We'll be doing a highlight episode. It'll be really good. It'll be put to music, and that'll be coming on Saturday, so look forward to that. Follow us on euphoric.podcast for any updates, and we shall see you next time.